Hello, good morning. A very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss an advantage disadvantage question. So this is actually a discussion question. We are not going to say any of the opinion. Actually, this is not an opinion question. So we are just analyzing the merits and demerits of a particular situation. So many people, many candidates, they feel that they have to write an opinion in this particular essay, but especially towards the conclusion. But actually, if you do that, your task response may go wrong and you may end up in despair. So I request you to answer to the question which is asked. The question which is asked is just to discuss the advantage and disadvantage of living in a media-rich society. Now, the fact that the yellow highlight, the question here is, I'll read out the question. It is becoming more and more difficult to escape the influence of the media in our life. So it's very difficult to escape the influence of the media in our lives. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of living in a media-rich society. That's it. So what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of living in a media-rich society? That's it. We don't have to say any opinion. We don't have to make introspection into this data. We just see from outside what is happening. What can you see? What are the positive sides of living in a media-rich society, and what demerits it have? So this is what we have to analyze. We just analyze and present it very briefly. We don't give that much explanation here. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this is presented. Remember, no opinion anywhere, just an objective presentation. Say what you see in general. That's it. So today's world has transformed to a global village, and one of the key reasons why this has happened is because of the growing influence of the media. So we have added that the world has now changed to a global village. The main point is that the growing influence of media. So one of the key reasons. So you have said something about media's influence in the society. The merits and demerits of living in a media-rich society are discussed in the ensuing paragraph. So in the following paragraphs, what you are going to see is the positive and negative sides of a media-rich society, right? Now, we have not said anything, so please just have a look here. We just said the situation, the topic, and in this particular sentence, we said that we are analyzing the merits and demerits. That's it. Now we have the merit side and demerit side. We have two paragraphs, and we have marked the positive side. One is transfer of information, faster transfer of information from one place to another. So second thing is conveyance of a large amount of data to a multitude of people. So let's analyze these things and explanation here. Turning to the positive side, this is the phrase which we have used to start the particular paragraph. Here you can see, on the other hand, on the darker side, it's just the opposite, positive side on the darker side, or you can say turning to the negative side. That would have been better. Okay. So turning to the positive side, turning to the negative side, you can say the phrase. This phrase is very crucial because it addresses, it gives an indication that what you are going to see in the paragraph. So these phrases are very, very important in starting a body paragraph. I recommend you to go ahead with some of strong phrases which gives the reader an impression that you are going to say something about a particular thing. And this is what we have done there. Turning to the positive side, in the whole paragraph, I'm going ahead with the positive side. On the darker side, on the whole paragraph, I'm going ahead with the darker side, the negative side. So this is what we need to understand there. Turning to the positive side, the first is the faster transformation of information from one place to another. So it is from one place to another. So we are going to transfer information from one place to another. So what we have presented is faster transformation of information. We have to explain that. Unlike the past, so it was not in the case in the past. Today, a message can be transferred in a fraction of a second, and that too from a farther end of the world, which has an internet connectivity. So this is the explanation of what we have said. In the past, it was not possible. Today, we can transfer the message in just a fraction of a second. And this happens just because of the internet connectivity. Even towards the farthest end of the world, we can do this thing. We can transfer information. Now, another merit which can be visible is the conveyance of a large amount of data to a multitude of people. So to a large amount of data. So bulk data is transferred to a multitude of people. Now, we do have search engines which gives you search engines which give you a lot of information. So we have Google as such an information provider. So if you search, you'll be getting a lot of related data in fraction of second. You can have a bulk data. You have social media. We have other sorts of digital media where you get information, and these bulk data can be transferred to a multitude of people. Yeah, this is what we can say. So it was not possible in the past. So if we want to if we wanted to convey a particular message or a particular information to a sector of people, it took a long time. Now within this time, you can transfer a huge amount of data, so we don't need to carry a lot of bulk of books from one place to another and make the people study. So all of these people have their own gadgets and they can watch these things online. They can get the information by pictures, videos, all these things. So the bulk data is there around, it's aired. Now we can say, now we have the example there, alert and awareness regarding the pandemic, COVID-19, and instructions for vaccination were given without any major hurdle. So it was a lot of information, the signs, precautions about the vaccination centers, all these things reached a lot of people across the country, across the world, just because of internet connectivity, just because of this particular development. And there were no major hurdles in accomplishing this goal. And the credit goes to the modern mass media, both print and visual forms. So not only the visual forms, not only the social media has done a great part in this thing. So the print media also have done a lot of help, a lot of assistance in accomplishing the goal of reaching the vaccination to a great multitude of people. Now we have the darker side. When we go ahead with the darker side, the worst issue is the rich media presence. Worst issue of the rich media presence is the question of integrity. Now we have the genuinity of the media question. So we have a lot of online media today, and each minute they try to make sensitive news, and many often it leads to social unrest, conflicts, and even riots. So there are a lot of problems these social media platforms or online media platforms, online news channels, they can make. is that they can create unrest among the people. They try to create sensitive news, and this creates problems. These fake news, they just want to rate their channel high, so they make sensitive news. So the results may be often social unrest, social conflicts, and sometimes riots. Another issue is the addiction it creates. So the second problem is you can see a lot of time, a considerable proportion of time, a sizable proportion of time of a person is taken away by this media. When you spend a lot of time with the media, whether it is social media, visual media, or print media, because you have a lot of exposure to the media, so your considerable your time, your productivity is stolen, your valuable time is stolen by the media. This is what happens. Now we have some more list there. Following privacy concerns, cyberbullying, cyber crimes are very common in this media society. Now we have the last thing, so I just add one more word there, connector. Finally, okay. So finally, privacy concerns, cyberbullying and cyber crimes are very common in this media society. Now let's go ahead with the conclusion. To conclude, though the popularity of media in the modern society has brought in certain commendable changes, one should not forget it is capable of making many undesirable. It is capable of making many undesirable consequences. We can say, on the other hand, it has brought in certain commendable changes, certain remarkable changes we can see in the field of communication and information transfer, knowledge deliverance, all these things. But but we do have the darker side, which it cannot be ignored. So that's the essay you can see as a whole here. So that's the end of the explanation. Hope you remember that in this particular essay, you are not going to say any personal opinion anywhere. Thank you.